sourdough by hand and your arm is tired, your dough feels weak, or you feel like you're never quite mixing long enough, this video is for you. Today I'm going to show you how I use my Ooni Halo Pro Mixer to make sourdough bread. I'm going to show you my exact mixing method, the speeds I use, how long I mix, what the dough should look like, basically everything I've learned about this mixer after using it for the last 7 months. And one quick thing, I bought this mixer myself. Actually, it was a gift from my husband. It's not sponsored, I just genuinely love it. Let's get to it. The Ooni Halo Pro is a spiral mixer, which means it mixes dough a little bit differently than your traditional stand mixer. It's also the type of mixer that professional bakeries use. It's basically like having a mini version of the same equipment the pros are using. Instead of just dragging the dough around the bowl, the spiral dough hook and the breaker bar, that's what this is right here, the breaker bar, and this is the spiral dough hook. And there's a rotating bowl, okay? So these three things all work together to really efficiently develop the gluten strength in your dough. And gluten is what gives your bread structure and helps it to bake up tall and not flat, which is what we're going for. We want tall bread, no flat pancake loaves, right? We spend 2 days making this bread. We want it to be tall. So this mixer is really great at building strong, smooth dough without the arm workout that you get when you're trying to mix by hand. It also makes the dough more consistent, which is one of the biggest benefits for sourdough. Let me show you exactly how to use the Ooni Halo Pro Mixer. Let's get to it. All right, I'm making enough dough for 2 loaves of sourdough. Now the manufacturer of this mixer does recommend that the minimum dough capacity is 1 kilogram, which is 1,000 grams, and the maximum dough capacity is 5 kilograms, which is 5,000 grams. So if you're using my easy artisan sourdough recipe, you can do 5 loaves at a time in here, and then because that would be less than 5,000 grams of dough, but since it says the minimum capacity is 1,000 grams of dough, I really think it performs better when you double the recipe. So for me, I'm just gonna double the recipe and make 2 loaves at a time, which means 1 for now and 1 goes in the freezer for later, or you can give 1 to a friend, or you know what, you can actually just keep both of them for yourself. I won't judge you. I love sourdough bread. So I've got 700 grams of water. Always put your water in the bowl first, okay? No matter what mixer you're using, always add the water first. And then I'm gonna add my flour. I have 1,000 grams of high protein bread flour. So I've got 700 grams of water and 1,000 grams of high protein bread flour. I'm gonna try to add this without making a giant mess, and I'm not adding it in increments, it's all going in at one time. And then I'm gonna close the mixer. And one thing I love about this mixer is the lid here. I mean, this makes it so nice because I'm not gonna have flour going all over the place, right? So number 1 tip, just make sure you're doing at least 2 loaves at a time. I find it doesn't perform as well when you don't have, really at least like 1,200 to 1,500 grams worth of dough in there. I'm gonna turn this mixer on to speed 20%, and I'm gonna mix for 2 minutes. This is called the auto lease. We're just mixing the flour and the water. My sourdough starter and my salt I'm gonna add in later. So we're doing 20% speed. Now this is different from like your KitchenAid where you have numbers, right? Like 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 on your KitchenAid. Here we're going in percentages. I'm just turning the knob at the front. That's 5% of the total speed that this mixer can do, which is like 5% of the RPM. So forget about the RPM stuff, just go by the percent. I'm going at 20%, and I'm gonna mix this for about 2 minutes, okay? So I've got 20% speed here. I'm gonna move down to my timer. I'm gonna set it for 2 minutes. Push the knob here, and it's gonna start the countdown on the timer. Now, I'm gonna stop that for just a second because it is a little bit loud, but having a timer on this mixer is amazing because you really can. I feel confident turning the timer on and walking away. This mixer isn't going anywhere on my counter, and honestly, this just makes my life so much easier because I can do other things while my dough's mixing. So I'm gonna get this going for 2 minutes, and then I will show you what the dough looks like. Now, I'm actually gonna take the lid off because it's hard for you guys to see on camera what's happening inside the mixer when the lid is on. So I'm gonna turn the lid off, and then you're gonna see that the bowl is rotating, the spiral dough hook inside is rotating, and then this is the breaker bar that I was talking about earlier, okay? This is gonna help to mix up the dough really, really well and keep it from just clumping up on this spiral dough hook right here, okay? So, turning it on, the bowl is moving, the dough hook is moving, and the breaker bar stays put. And we're gonna go at 20% speed for 2 minutes, and then we'll cover this. All right, the mixer has stopped because it's been 2 minutes. I've got a shaggy dough here. Just my flour and water is mixed up and combined really well. And then I'm gonna put the cover back on and I'm gonna leave this in the mixer for about 30 minutes to auto-lease. And then I'll come back and add my sourdough starter and my salt. I'll see you in 30 minutes. All right, my dough's been sitting for about 30 minutes and now I'm gonna add my sourdough starter and my salt. So I'm just gonna take the bowl off. Super easy to get the bowl off. I'm gonna put it on my scale. If you don't have this scale, I love this scale. It's pretty inexpensive, and what I like about it is that it has a huge weight capacity, so I don't ever have to worry about it shutting off because it can't handle the weight. I'm gonna put 200 grams of my active sourdough starter. Look at how bubbly and light and airy and fluffy this sourdough starter is. It's gonna make great bread. And if you need a good sourdough starter, I'm gonna put the link to mine down below in the description. Hundreds and hundreds of bakers use and love my sourdough starter, and it is the one that I'm using today and also that I use in the bakery. So if you need a good one, you should definitely grab it. It's a great starter. Okay, I've got 200 grams of my sourdough starter, and then I'm gonna take 20 grams of salt. This is my favorite gray French sea salt that I always use. I'm gonna put that right on top, and yes, I'm putting it right on top of my sourdough starter. It's not gonna hurt it. I'm gonna put the bowl back on the Ooni Halo Pro, and then we're gonna start this at a really low speed, okay? So I'm gonna start this at 15% and I'm gonna let it go for 1 minute. Now the reason why I'm starting it at such a low speed is because the salt can tear the dough. So before I really get this mixer up and cranking, I want to give the salt a little bit of time to get incorporated so that we don't actually tear the gluten strands that we're creating in the dough. So I'm gonna put it at 15% for 1 minute. Setting my timer again, and it's gonna just slowly incorporate that sourdough starter and salt. Now, after I've gone at 15% for 1 minute, I'm gonna crank the speed up to 40%, and we'll let this go for 6 minutes, and you'll be able to see the transformation in the dough, which is gonna be pretty incredible. So if you're used to only using like your normal KitchenAid stand mixer, which I also have and love, but this one's better for sourdough, it doesn't have a timer. Watch this. It just shut off automatically because that timer ended, which is such a nice feature. Also, there's a light here, so I can see the dough inside the bowl because of that light. So I love that. Definitely pretty amazing. All right, we mixed for 1 minute. Sourdough starter and salt are mixed in. Now we're gonna increase the speed to 40%, and we are gonna mix for about 6 minutes, okay? So I'm gonna switch to 40%, move down here to my timer and set it for 6 minutes. And do you see that pumpkin shape inside the bowl? When this dough is done mixing, we're gonna see a really defined pumpkin shape inside the bowl. All the dough will be staying together, and you'll know the dough will feel kind of smooth and silky, and it won't be chunky at all like this. It's gonna look almost like a dough that you made with commercial yeast, which is pretty amazing. Another thing I like to point out is that normally in your regular stand mixer, you'll see the dough kind of climbing up that dough hook, right? And I know sometimes even with my KitchenAid, if I'm making even commercial yeast bread or sourdough, whatever kind of bread I'm making, that dough is climbing up the dough hook, and then it'll kind of start to get up to the top part here, and that's definitely not what you want to see, but that doesn't happen in the Ooni Halo Pro because of this breaker bar here. That keeps the dough from climbing up and really allows this mixer to develop and strengthen the gluten, which is exactly what we want. Okay, we're just gonna let this go, and then I'll come back in a little bit. Quick pause for just a second. If you want the exact sourdough recipe I'm using, I'll link that down below for you. And if you want my full video on the sourdough equipment that actually makes a difference and isn't a waste of money, I'll link that too, because this mixer was one of the items I talked about in that video. All right, let's get back to it. All right, our dough's been mixing for 6 minutes at 40% speed. Let's take a look and see. Now, good sign is that our dough is staying together. We had a great pumpkin shape in here. Now I'm gonna get my hands a little bit wet, and we're gonna see if we can pull a window pane yet. Now you don't need to mix your dough all the way to the window pane stage. If you don't know what window pane means, I'm gonna grab a portion of the dough, I'm gonna stretch it out. It should stretch out nice and thin and be a little bit see-through, sort of like a window pane. With sourdough, with this particular dough, it's not an enriched dough. There's no added fat or sugar or anything. We won't get a complete window pane, but we should be pretty close. Okay, so we're tearing just a little bit. It's really hard to see this on the camera. I don't know if I can take the bowl off and show you a little bit better here. Whoops, didn't mean to take that off. There we go. Okay, let me grab a chunk of this dough. And we are stretching a little bit. Maybe you can see better like that. We are stretching just a little bit, but I'd like to see this dough get a little bit thinner before it starts to tear. So I'm gonna put it back on and I'm gonna mix it this time at 45% speed for 2 more minutes, and that should do it for this dough. Now, couple things I want to point out. My hands are not dirty. My arms are not tired. Everything has been happening inside this bowl. So 45% for 2 more minutes, and let's get it going. All right, there we go. We are done mixing. Let's lift this up. Now, since the time that we started this process, when we added our flour and water in and did that initial mix, we have in total mixed for 11 minutes, okay? The machine is not even hot. I mean, this thing, it's really powerful. It works so well. I'm gonna push it to the side for a little bit, and I wanna show you what my dough looks like now that it is pretty much fully developed, okay? So let me take it out, put it on my counter, getting my hands a little bit wet. You're gonna see how smooth, elastic, and extensible this dough is. Now, you could probably really, I'm being honest with you here, I don't think you could ever achieve this mixing by hand. No matter how long you mixed for, you wouldn't be able to get your dough to this stage. Let's take a look at it. I mean, it's so beautiful. It's silky, it's smooth, it's elastic, it's stretching out, snapping back together. This is a really strong dough, and that's what we want with sourdough. If you don't create a really strong dough structure with your sourdough, what happens is that as the gases build up during bulk fermentation, you're gonna end up with a dough that if it's not really strong, it can't trap all those gases. And then when you go to actually bake your bread, it's gonna bake up flat because it's just not a strong enough dough, which is why I always recommend using a high protein bread flour and doing that really long initial mix by hand and then doing all of your stretch and folds. Now, I've got my dough here, and what's next? Stretch and folds. I'm gonna put it back in the bowl. I'm gonna put the cover on. And then here's the thing. With the Ooni Halo Pro, I don't do 4 rounds of stretch and folds. If I was mixing this dough by hand, I would need to do all 4 rounds of stretch and folds to keep developing the dough. But because this dough is almost fully developed coming out of the mixer, I'm only gonna do 1 round of stretch and folds. Sometimes I might do 2, depending on how the dough feels. And to be honest with you, I feel like the dough is already fully developed and I really wouldn't need to do stretch and folds, except I wanna create some structure inside the bread. When we're doing stretch and folds, we're actually creating layers and additional structure inside the bread, and I don't want to skip that. I think that's important for sourdough, so I am going to do at least 1 round of stretch and folds, and when I do that, I'll show you what the dough looks like, and we'll decide if I should do a 2nd round of stretch and folds or if 1 is going to be enough. So I'm going to put the lid back on the bowl. I'm going to let this dough sit for 30 minutes, and I'm going to come back and do my round of stretch and folds, and then we'll get our dough transferred into our bulk fermentation container. All right, dough's been sitting for 30 minutes. I'm going to get in and do 1 round of stretch and folds, and we'll see how this dough is and decide if I should do a 2nd round or not. So I'm gonna get my hands wet so the dough doesn't stick. Reach in, grab the dough, pull it up, stretch it up, and fold it over itself. And I'm gonna give my bowl a 1/4 turn. Do the same thing, lift it up, fold it over itself, 1/4 turn. And you can see as I go around the bowl, the dough is really stretching a lot less. This is what your dough looks like when you've mixed it by hand and you're on the 4th and final round of stretch and folds. And that was 1 round of stretch and folds after mixing our dough in the Ooni Halo Pro. And I definitely don't need to do any more stretch and folds. My dough is holding its shape really, really well. It's kind of fighting against me when I'm doing my stretch and folds, and there's no reason to do another round of stretch and folds. So I'm going to go ahead and put my dough in my bulk fermentation container. You could leave it in the bowl from the Ooni Halo Pro, but I like to use a clear container so that I can actually see how much the dough has risen. You can see along the sides all of the bubbles, the activity that's happening, and it's just easier to kind of gauge visually how much your dough has risen. Now, one thing I want to point out, if you want to add things to your bread, so you want to add olives, nuts, chocolate chips, lemon zest, dried cranberries, raisins, things like that, what you'll do is after you have mixed your dough, gone through the entire process of mixing it, let it rest in the bowl for about 10 to 15 minutes, then add in your mix-ins and turn the mixer back on. I like to turn it on to speed 15% and let it mix for a minute or 2 until those mix-ins or inclusions are fully incorporated within your dough, okay? So finish the process, let it sit for 10 or 15 minutes, add your inclusions, turn the mixer on to 15%, let it go for 1 or 2 more minutes. The only time I would not add my mix-ins or inclusions to my dough in the mixer is if I was adding something that's wet. So for example, like pesto or Nutella, or if I was using blueberries that weren't dried blueberries, I was using fresh blueberries. You don't want those things to get smashed while they're mixing, right? So those are items that you would add later on you would laminate them in right before your final shaping. But for everything else, you can use the mixer and it will get those ingredients really, really mixed in very, very well for you. So this dough is gonna sit here covered and it's gonna finish bulk fermenting. Now from this point on, I follow the same process I teach in all of my other sourdough videos. The mixer helps develop the dough and build strength, but it doesn't replace bulk fermentation, although that would be pretty awesome if someone could figure out how to do that. The dough still needs to rise, it still needs to develop flavor, and all of that is done during bulk fermentation while my dough just hangs out in this container. So the dough is gonna sit in this container for a while. You'll notice here I put a mark on the side of my container. This is so that I can see how much my dough has risen, so I'll know when bulk fermentation is done. From this point on, I'm watching the dough, not the clock, exactly like you would do if you were making your sourdough by hand. Look for the dough to rise. It should almost double in size. It should have a dome top. I should see lots of bubbles along the sides of the container, and it should feel light and airy like a giant marshmallow. Once bulk fermentation is done, I'll turn the dough out onto my work surface, do my pre-shaping, let it rest uncovered for about 30 minutes, and then I'll do my final shaping. The dough goes into the banneton basket, gets covered, and goes into the refrigerator for the cold ferment. The next day, I'll take it out, score it, and bake it the same way I normally bake all of my sourdough bread. So the Ooni Halo Pro is not changing the entire sourdough process, it's changing the mixing part and the stretch and folds. It helps me build a strong dough faster with a lot less effort. And then from there, I follow the same steps I teach in all of my sourdough bread videos. And if you need help with bulk fermentation, shaping, scoring, or baking, I'll link those videos down below so you can follow the full step-by-step. Things I really love about this mixer: the lid. The lid is great. The light is actually useful. The digital display is really easy to read, and the timer makes it easy to walk away and not guess how long you've been mixing or forget about your dough. It's really stable on the counter, and it actually comes apart really easily, and I just throw the bowl and the attachments in my dishwasher, so it's super easy to handle. I also love that it can handle larger batches of dough. Now the manufacturer says that the max dough capacity for this is 5 kilograms, which is a lot of dough. That's about 5,000 grams of dough. I've definitely pushed that limit before because I make a lot of sourdough bread, but you should probably listen to the manufacturer and let me be the one making all the bad decisions. Now, the only negatives about this mixer are that it can be a bit loud. You probably heard that throughout the video. And in my opinion, you really need to be mixing enough dough for a minimum of 2 loaves, okay? It doesn't do that well with just 1 loaf, but otherwise it's a fantastic mixer and it really is a game changer for sourdough bakers. And that's it. That's exactly how I use my Ooni Halo Pro Mixer to make sourdough bread. And if you're making sourdough all the time, if your arm is tired, or if you want more consistent dough with a lot less effort, this is one of the few pieces of equipment that I genuinely love. And like I said earlier, this video isn't sponsored. I'm quite sure Ooni has no idea who I am. But hey, if you are listening, Ooni, I would be very happy to test this with some sourdough pizza dough and one of your pizza ovens. I'm just saying, for research purposes, right? Obviously, okay? If you found this helpful, make sure you're subscribed, and I'll link the recipe, the mixer, and all of that great stuff below for your sourdough. I've got tons of step-by-step videos, and I'll leave one of those up here for you, and I'll see you over in the next video.